The boutique was sleek, pristine, and filled with designer pieces that only the wealthiest clientele could afford. The air smelled of expensive cologne, and the staff carried themselves with an air of exclusivity. Then the doors swung open, and a man in a hoodie and sneakers walked in. The boutique manager, standing near the entrance, narrowed her eyes the moment she saw him. "Sir," she said, stepping forward, blocking his path, "I think you may be in the wrong store." The man tilted his head, amused. "That is funny," he said, "because I was about to spend a lot of money here." She had no idea who she had just humiliated. Jamar Chase had no intention of making a scene. He just wanted to buy a suit, something sharp, stylish, and fitting for an upcoming event. He had heard about this boutique, exclusive, high-end, known for catering to the elite. So when he walked in, dressed in a simple hoodie, sweatpants, and sneakers, he already knew exactly what was about to happen. The boutique manager, a woman with a sharp, judgmental stare, blocked his path almost immediately. "Sir," she said again, her tone flat and dismissive, "are you sure this is the kind of store you are looking for?" Chase raised an eyebrow. He had not even looked at a price tag yet. "I am pretty sure," he said, glancing past her toward the racks of luxury suits. She let out a small, condescending chuckle. "Our clientele," she said carefully, "tend to prefer more tailored experiences. Perhaps you would be more comfortable at one of the department stores nearby." The meaning behind her words was clear. She thought he did not belong. Chase nodded slowly, processing the situation. This was not new to him. He had seen it before. People who judged him before they knew him. Instead of arguing, he simply stepped around her and walked deeper into the boutique, running his fingers over the fine fabrics. The manager, clearly annoyed, turned to a sales associate and whispered something. The associate nodded, smirking, then made his way toward Chase. "Sir," the associate said, loud enough for others to hear, "that particular suit starts at $10,000. You might want to check the sales section instead." A few nearby customers snickered. Chase exhaled, shaking his head. "Here we go again." "You assume I cannot afford it?" he asked, his voice calm but pointed. The manager gave him a polite but insincere smile. "I just do not want to waste your time." Chase let out a small chuckle, more amused than angry. Then, without another word, he simply turned and walked out. The staff laughed quietly behind him. But what they did not know, Jamar Chase was not done yet. And what happened next would send shockwaves through the entire industry. The boutique settled back into its usual atmosphere after Jamar Chase walked out. The manager chuckled to herself, smoothing down her blazer as she turned to her staff. "Some people just do not understand exclusivity," she mused. The employees snickered in agreement. A few customers who had witnessed the interaction whispered among themselves. Some of them had recognized Chase, but none of them spoke up. One younger sales associate, standing near the back, furrowed his brow. "Are you sure that was a good idea?" he asked hesitantly. The manager turned sharply toward him. "Excuse me?" The associate shifted uncomfortably. I think that guy was Jamar Chase." The manager let out an amused scoff. "The football player? Please. He was probably just another wannabe with a fake chain and an Instagram account." A few of the other employees chuckled, completely unaware of the mistake they had just made. But outside, something was already in motion. Because while the boutique staff laughed among themselves, Jamar Chase was making a quick phone call. 15 minutes later, the boutique's glass doors swung open again. This time, Chase was not alone. Behind him, a team of financial advisors, stylists, and a representative from a competing luxury brand walked in with him. They were serious, focused, ready. The energy inside the store shifted instantly. The employees who had been joking just seconds ago stopped cold. The manager, standing near the register, felt a wave of unease as she locked eyes with Chase. He had not changed clothes. He was still in his hoodie and sneakers. But now, He had the entire room's attention. Customers whispered. Employees stared. The mood inside the store had completely flipped. Jamar Chase stepped up to the counter, placed his hands on the glass, and spoke directly to the boutique owner, who had just walked out from the back. "I came here to buy a suit," Chase said smoothly. "But since your staff thought I was not good enough, I brought someone who actually wants my business." He turned to the competing luxury brand's rep standing beside him. "Let's shop." And just like that, the entire boutique fell silent. The boutique's once smug atmosphere had vanished. The same employees who had laughed at Jamar Chase minutes ago now stood frozen in place, their eyes darting between him and the luxury brand rep at his side. The manager's face lost all color. The boutique owner, who had just stepped out from the back, smiled warmly, unaware of what had just happened. "Mr. Chase," the owner said, extending a hand. "Welcome to our store. How can we assist you today?" Jamar Chase gave a small smirk. He didn't take the handshake. Instead, he glanced at the manager, the same woman who had humiliated him just moments ago. "I actually came in earlier," he said casually, "but your manager here thought I was in the wrong store." The owner's smile faltered. Chase turned slightly, gesturing toward the competing luxury brand rep beside him. "So, instead of shopping here, I figured I would take my business somewhere else," Chase said smoothly. "But first, I wanted to drop by, just so you all could see what you missed out on." The store fell dead silent. The competing brand rep stepped forward, shaking Chase's hand. "We are happy to take care of you, Mr. Chase," he said. "We have some exclusive pieces waiting for you at our showroom. Private fitting, no waiting, first-class service." Chase nodded, pleased. "That is what I like to hear." The manager finally found her voice. She stepped forward, desperate to fix the situation. "Mr. Chase, I apologize if there was any misunderstanding earlier," she stammered. "That was never my intent." Chase raised an eyebrow. "You sure? Because you were pretty clear when you told me to check the sales section." The entire store was watching now. Employees looked at each other, realizing just how badly their manager had screwed up. The boutique owner turned to her, his expression unreadable. "Is that true?" The manager's face burned red. I was just trying to be helpful." Chase chuckled, shaking his head. "Right." Then, with a final glance around the store, he turned toward the doors. "Come on," he said to the competing brand's rep. "Let's go spend some real money." And as he walked out, the entire boutique stood in silent humiliation. The boutique's once lively energy was gone. The sleek showroom, the neatly arranged designer pieces, the aura of exclusivity, none of it mattered anymore. Because now, every single person inside that store was focused on one thing: the humiliated boutique manager. She stood frozen near the counter, her hands clenched, her face still red from embarrassment. She had just realized the size of her mistake, too late. Jamar Chase, the same man she had mocked and dismissed, had just walked out with his business and his money, going straight to a competitor. The store was dead silent. Employees exchanged uneasy glances. A few customers muttered under their breath, shaking their heads. The younger sales associate, the one who had recognized Chase earlier, let out a slow breath, as if he had just watched history unfold. The boutique owner, however, was not silent. He slowly turned toward the manager, his expression cold. "Tell me," he said, his voice calm but sharp. "Did you really tell Jamar Chase to check the sales section?" The manager swallowed hard. She started, her voice barely above a whisper. I did not realize who he was." The owner's jaw tightened. "And if he was not Jamar Chase?" he asked. "If he was just some guy off the street, would you have treated him any differently?" She had no answer, because they both knew the truth. Luxury was supposed to be about service, about class, about experience. But instead, She had made it about judgment. The employees kept their heads down, pretending to be busy, but they were all listening. The owner exhaled sharply, rubbing his temple. "I am going to need your keys," he finally said. The manager's stomach dropped. "What?" she choked out. "You are done here," the owner said bluntly. "Hand over your store keys and clean out your desk." The air left her lungs. "Sir, please, now!" The words hit like a hammer, and as she numbly reached for her keys, she realized something else. This was not just about losing her job. This was about a lesson she would never forget. The fallout was immediate. The boutique, once known for its exclusivity, was now the center of controversy. Customers whispered about what had happened, employees texted their friends, and before long, the story hit social media. It started as a rumor, a few posts, a couple of anonymous comments. But then, the truth came out. A video surfaced. Someone inside the store had secretly recorded the entire exchange. The clip showed the manager mocking Jamar Chase, dismissing him, and sending him to the sales section. Then, it cut to Chase walking back in with a competitor, stealing the store's business right in front of them. The video went viral. Fans were outraged. Athletes, celebrities, and even other high-end clients began calling out the boutique for its treatment of Chase. Luxury brands thrived on reputation. And this was the worst kind of press imaginable. Meanwhile, the competing luxury brand, they saw an opportunity, and they took it. That same night, they posted a high-quality photo of Jamar Chase in one of their finest suits, standing in their showroom, looking like royalty. The caption? "Luxury is not just about clothes, it is about respect. Welcome to the family, Jamar." The post exploded. Thousands of likes, shares, and comments flooded in. Fans praised the brand for treating Chase the way he deserved. Others dragged the original boutique, saying they had no business calling themselves high-end if they could not recognize a high-value customer. And the boutique manager? She had become a symbol of what was wrong with the industry. The boutique scrambled to do damage control. They released a public statement about valuing all customers and ensuring proper training for their staff. But it was too late. No one cared about their apology. The damage had been done. Jamar Chase had not just walked away with a better suit. He had walked away with the last laugh. And the boutique, they would never recover from this. Jamar Chase never raised his voice. He never argued. He let his actions speak louder than words. The boutique manager had judged him without knowing who he was. But in the end, she was the one who got judged by the entire world. Some people let their egos blind them. Others let their money talk. But Chase, he let his class and dignity do the work for him. What do you think? Should he have called her out even harder? Comment below, like, share, and subscribe for more powerful NFL stories.